The wind whispered through the narrow streets of Derbyshire, carrying the weight of Emma Thompson's unspoken worries. 34 years old, with lines of determination etched across her tired face, she stood by the kitchen window, watching the grey morning light creep across the small cottage. Oliver, her 7-year-old son, sat at the worn wooden table, carefully spreading butter on a slice of slightly stale bread. His school uniform was patched in places, but clean and pressed, a testament to his mother's pride and care. "Mummy," Oliver asked, his small voice breaking the silence, "will we be okay?" Emma forced a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. The textile factory where she had worked for 10 years had closed 3 months ago, leaving her with nothing but a small severance package and a mountain of bills. Each day was a careful dance of survival, stretching every penny, hoping for a miracle. The electricity bill lay unopened on the counter. The heating had been temperamental all winter, and Emma had learned to layer clothes and keep Oliver warm, with extra blankets and hot cups of tea. Her savings were dwindling, and hope was becoming a luxury she could barely afford. Every morning she would wake before dawn, searching online for job opportunities, sending countless applications. Her ancient laptop, a gift from her late father, was her only connection to potential work. She had applied everywhere: cleaning services, local shops, administrative offices, anything that could bring in some money. Oliver watched his mother, with eyes that seemed too old for his young face. He understood more than she realized. He knew they were struggling, but he also knew his mother was strong. She had been both parents to him since his father left years ago, and he admired her, more than she could imagine. The cottage was small but filled with love. Photographs of happier times lined the walls. Emma's parents, old family portraits, Oliver's school pictures. Each image told a story of resilience, of a family that had always found a way to survive. As the morning progressed, Emma began her daily routine. She mended Oliver's school trousers, packed his lunch with whatever she could find in the nearly empty cupboards, and prepared him for school. Her own hunger was something she had grown used to, always ensuring Oliver was fed first. "Remember to ask Mrs. Green if you can use the school computer for homework," Emma reminded Oliver, helping him with his backpack. Mrs. Green, the kind school secretary, often allowed Emma to use the school's resources to search for jobs when she dropped Oliver off. The walk to school was their special time. Despite their challenges, Emma made sure to fill those moments with love and hope. They would play small games, count passing cars, or tell silly stories that made Oliver laugh, a sound that could brighten the darkest of her days. As she kissed Oliver goodbye at the school gates, Emma's mind was already racing with possibilities. Today might be the day. Today might bring an opportunity. She had to believe that. The local community centre had a job board. The library offered free computer access. The small shops might need extra help. Emma's determination was a fire that refused to be extinguished by circumstance. Her mobile phone, an old model that had seen better days, was her lifeline. She checked it constantly, hoping for a response to her job applications. Every ping, every notification brought a mixture of hope and anxiety. Back home, she began her ritual: clean the small cottage, check job websites, update her simple resume, make a list of potential employers, prepare for Oliver's return, cook something from the few ingredients left in the kitchen. The clock ticked. The day moved slowly. But Emma Thompson wasn't one to give up. She had a son to care for. She had a life to rebuild. And somewhere in the depths of her tired but hopeful heart, she knew something would change. As the afternoon light began to soften, casting long shadows across the cottage floor, Emma allowed herself a moment of quiet reflection. She was tired, she was worried, but she was also strong. And for now, that would have to be enough. Oliver would be home soon. And with him came the promise of another chance, another opportunity to turn their lives around. The community centre stood like a beacon of hope in the middle of Derbyshire's quiet neighbourhood. William Harris, a man in his late 50s, had been managing the centre for over 2 decades. His kind eyes had seen countless stories of struggle and resilience, but something about Emma Thompson's quiet determination caught his attention. That morning, William watched Emma through the centre's large windows. She was dropping off Oliver, helping him with his backpack. her movements careful and loving. Her clothes were worn but neat, her posture showing a pride that spoke volumes about her character. Emma approached the community board, carefully studying the job listings. Her fingers traced the edges of the papers, hope and desperation dancing in her eyes. William noticed how she would take pictures of job postings with her old mobile phone, her determination almost tangible. He remembered his own struggles years ago, a young father with 2 children fighting to keep his family afloat. The memory made him move closer to Emma. "Good morning," William said softly, not wanting to startle her. Emma turned, her eyes immediately revealing her mix of hope and exhaustion. "Hello," she responded, trying to sound confident. William had seen that look before. The look of someone fighting invisible battles, someone trying to hold their world together with nothing but willpower and love. "We're looking for someone to help clean the community center," he said casually. "Part-time, flexible hours. Would you be interested?" Emma's breath caught in her throat. It wasn't a dream job, but it was a job, a lifeline. Her eyes filled with unexpected tears that she quickly blinked away. "I can work hard," she said quickly. "I'm reliable. I'll do whatever is needed." William saw more than just a potential employee. He saw a mother determined to provide for her child. He saw resilience wrapped in human form. The job wasn't much. 4 hours a day, cleaning rooms, organizing spaces, helping with basic maintenance. But it would provide a steady income, enough to buy groceries, enough to keep the heating running, enough to give Oliver a sense of security. Emma's first day was remarkable. She cleaned every corner with precision, her movements efficient and thorough. William watched her work, remembering his own journey of survival. During her break, Emma would sit quietly, sometimes helping other community members with small tasks. She became more than just a cleaner. She became a supportive presence in the community center. Oliver would sometimes wait after school, doing homework in a corner while his mother worked. William noticed how the boy would look up occasionally, watching his mother with a mixture of pride and love. The job wasn't just about cleaning, it was about rebuilding, about hope, about showing Oliver that hard work and dignity could overcome difficult circumstances. William saw something special in Emma, her ability to remain positive, her dedication to her son, her willingness to take any opportunity. These were qualities that defined true strength. Some days were harder than others. Some days Emma's hands would tremble slightly from exhaustion, but she never complained. She kept moving forward, one step at a time. The community center became more than a workplace for Emma. It became a support system. Other staff members would sometimes help, offering extra food, sharing resources, providing small acts of kindness. Oliver's world began to change. New shoes, slightly better meals. A sense that things were improving. The worry lines on his young face started to soften. William knew he hadn't just offered a job. He had offered hope, a chance for a family to rebuild. A reminder that community means supporting each other through life's most challenging moments. As weeks passed, Emma's confidence grew. Her smile became more genuine, her hope more tangible. The job wasn't perfect, the pay was modest, but it was a beginning, a chance to breathe, an opportunity to dream again. In the quiet corners of the community center, a family's story of survival was unfolding. Proof that kindness, no matter how small, could change everything. And William Harris watched, remembering that sometimes the most powerful acts of compassion are the simplest ones. The local library became Emma's second classroom. Every evening after her work at the community center, and after putting Oliver to bed, she would borrow an old laptop and sit quietly in the corner, learning. Mrs. Elizabeth Roberts, the elderly librarian, had taken a special interest in Emma. She understood struggle. She recognized determination. When the library was quiet, she would help Emma navigate computer courses, showing her how to type faster, how to create better job applications, how to improve her digital skills. Oliver would sit nearby, doing his homework, occasionally glancing at his mother with admiration. He saw her transformation, from a worried woman to someone learning, growing, becoming stronger with each passing week. The computer classes were free. Funded by local community programs, they offered hope to people like Emma, unemployed individuals, older workers looking to restart careers, young people seeking opportunities. They all gathered in those evening sessions. Emma's fingers, once clumsy on the keyboard, started moving with increasing confidence. She learned spreadsheet skills. She understood basic graphic design. She practiced email communication. Each small skill felt like a victory. William Harris from the community center noticed her progress. "You're becoming quite good," he would say, watching her manage small administrative tasks during her cleaning shifts. The library became a sanctuary of learning. Emma discovered online job platforms. She created a proper digital resume. She learned how to attach documents, how to write professional emails, how to present herself in the digital job market. Her evenings were structured. Oliver's homework first, then his bath and bedtime story, then her own learning time. She was teaching her son through her actions that education was a powerful tool of transformation. Some nights were challenging. Her old laptop would struggle. The internet connection would be slow. But Emma's determination never wavered. She would borrow extra moments at the community center, using their computers during quiet times. Oliver became her greatest supporter. He would help her practice typing. He would explain computer tricks he learned at school. Their relationship transformed from just mother and son to learning partners. The local job market was tough, but Emma was becoming smarter. She understood how to search effectively, how to highlight her growing skills, how to present herself as a valuable potential employee. Mrs. Roberts would sometimes bring her extra tea. "You're doing wonderfully," she would say, her kind eyes filled with maternal warmth. The library staff had become Emma's unexpected support. System Emma learned more than just computer skills. She learned confidence. She learned that her past did not define her future. She learned that with persistence anything was possible. Her cleaning job at the community center became more than just cleaning. William started giving her small administrative tasks, filing, organizing, answering phones. Each task was a learning opportunity. The digital world opened new possibilities, online courses, free training programs, resources she never knew existed. Emma consumed information like a hungry student, determined to improve her circumstances. Oliver watched his mother's transformation with quiet pride. He saw her studying late at night. He saw her practicing typing. He saw her becoming something more than she had ever been before. Her computer skills improved weekly. What once seemed complicated became simple. Spreadsheets that confused her now made sense. Email communications became clear and professional. The community noticed her change. People at the center would ask her for help with basic computer tasks. Emma, who once felt invisible, was now becoming a valued resource. Her dreams started expanding. Perhaps an office job, perhaps administrative work. The possibilities seemed endless compared to her previous limited opportunities. William and Mrs. Roberts watched her journey with quiet satisfaction. They recognized that education was more than just learning skills. It was about rebuilding confidence, about seeing potential where others saw limitation. As months passed, Emma transformed, not just in her skills, but in her entire approach to life. She became more confident, more hopeful, more determined. Her story was becoming a testament to the power of continuous learning, of never giving up, of believing that with effort and support anything was possible. And Oliver, watching his mother, was learning the most important lesson of all, that true strength comes from never stopping, never surrendering, and always believing in oneself. The small startup office sat quietly in the industrial park just outside Derbyshire. Thomson Technologies, a local digital services company, was growing faster than anyone expected. Their founder, Michael Peters, believed in giving local talent a chance. Emma's carefully crafted resume had caught their attention. Her newfound computer skills, combined with her years of practical work experience, made her stand out. When she walked into the interview, her hands were steady, her eyes were clear. She was no longer the desperate woman searching for any job. She was a confident professional. Michael looked through her application. Her skills were basic but solid. Her recommendations from William at the community center and Mrs. Roberts from the library were glowing. But it was something else that truly impressed him, her determination. "We need someone who can handle data entry and basic customer support," Michael explained. "It's a remote position, flexible hours. Would you be interested?" Emma's heart raced. A proper job, with a computer, from home. It seemed almost too good to be true. The salary wasn't massive, but it was steady. Enough to pay bills, enough to give Oliver better opportunities, enough to breathe. Her first day working remotely was a moment of pure joy. She set up a small desk in their cottage's corner. Oliver watched with excitement as she logged into her first professional email account. The work was precise, entering data, responding to simple customer queries, managing digital records. Emma approached each task with incredible focus. Her years of cleaning and organizing at the community center had taught her patience and attention to detail. Michael was impressed. Emma wasn't just an employee. She was reliable, consistent, always delivering more than expected. Oliver's life began to change. New school shoes, better quality food, small treats that were once impossible. But more importantly, he saw his mother's confidence growing. The startup appreciated employees like Emma, people who understood the value of hard work, people who saw each opportunity as a gift. Her work hours were flexible. She could drop Oliver at school, work during school hours, be home when he returned. The perfect balance of motherhood and professional growth. William from the community center couldn't believe the transformation. The woman who once cleaned their floors was now a professional working remotely. He felt a sense of pride, knowing he had played a small part in her journey. Mrs. Roberts would visit occasionally, bringing homemade cakes. She would watch Emma work, typing efficiently, managing multiple tasks. The librarian's eyes would fill. With quiet pride, Oliver started telling his school friends about his amazing mother. "She works with computers," he would say with excitement. His pride was evident in every word. The startup offered her additional training, online courses, skill development programs. Emma grabbed every opportunity. Learning became her new passion. Her world expanded beyond the small cottage. She was connecting with colleagues online, participating in team meetings, contributing to discussions. Michael recognized her potential. "We see great things in you," he would tell her during video calls. Emma would blush, remembering the days of uncertainty and struggle. The money wasn't just about survival now, it was about creating opportunities, saving for Oliver's future, dreaming of possibilities. Her colleagues respected her, not just for her work, but for her journey. They knew her story. They understood her struggle. Emma's transformation was complete. From a struggling single mother to a confident professional, from uncertainty to opportunity, Oliver would watch her work, inspired by her determination. He was learning life's most important lesson, that hard work, persistence, and belief could change everything. The cottage that once felt like a place of struggle now felt like a home of hope. Filled with possibility, filled with dreams, and Emma Thompson, once invisible, was now truly visible, strong, determined, successful. Her breakthrough wasn't just a job, it was a complete transformation of her life, a testament to the power of never giving up. 1 year had passed since Emma's first day at Thompson Technologies. The small cottage that once felt like a burden now seemed like a palace of possibility. Oliver was thriving. His school reports were excellent. His confidence matched his mother's newfound strength. The worry lines that once marked his young face had been replaced by bright, hopeful eyes. The annual community center gathering was a special event. William Harris stood before the crowd, his kind eyes scanning the room. He held a small certificate in his hand, an award for community inspiration. "I want to introduce someone special," William began. "Emma Thompson represents everything our community stands for: resilience, hope, determination." Emma sat quietly, her cheeks turning slightly red. Oliver squeezed her hand, proud of his mother. Michael Peters from Thompson Technologies was also present. He spoke about how local talent could transform businesses, how giving someone a chance could change entire lives. Emma's journey had become more than just her personal story. It had become a beacon of hope for others in the community. Single mothers would approach her, asking for advice. Young people, Seeking inspiration would listen to her story. The startup had recognized her potential. She was no longer just a data entry worker. She had become a junior administrative coordinator. Her flexible remote work allowed her to balance motherhood and professional growth perfectly. Her computer skills had transformed dramatically. What once seemed complicated now felt simple. She could manage spreadsheets, handle customer communications, and support team projects with confidence. Oliver watched his mother with pure admiration. He saw her early mornings, her late-night studying, her determination to create a better life. The cottage had changed too. Small improvements everywhere, fresh paint, new curtains, books filling shelves, a small study corner for Oliver, signs of stability and hope. Mrs. Roberts from the library would visit occasionally, bringing homemade cakes. She saw the complete transformation, not just of Emma, but of their entire community's spirit. Emma's income had stabilized their life. No more constant worry about bills, no more stretching every penny. They could now plan, dream, imagine possibilities at key. The community gathering, Emma was asked to speak. Her hands trembled slightly as she approached the microphone, but her voice was strong and clear. 1 year ago I was struggling, she said. I didn't know how I would provide for my son. Today I stand here with hope, with opportunity. The room fell silent. Every word carried the weight of her journey, her struggle, her triumph. Oliver sat in the front row, watching his mother become a hero. Not a superhero from movies, but a real-life hero. A mother who never gave up. William Harris watched with tears in his eyes. He remembered the day he offered her the cleaning job. He knew then that she was special. But he hadn't imagined how far she would go. The community center had become more than just a building. It was a place of transformation, a place where stories like Emma's could be born. Michael Peters spoke about workplace diversity, about giving chances to those who might be overlooked. Emma's story became a perfect example of untapped potential. As the evening concluded, people approached Emma, congratulating her, seeking advice, finding inspiration in her journey. Oliver held her hand as they walked home. The night was crisp. The stars seemed brighter. Their small cottage felt like a mansion of dreams. "I'm proud of you, Mum," Oliver whispered. Emma hugged him tight. Her journey wasn't just about a job. It was about showing her son that with determination anything was possible. Their story was far from over. But for the first time the future looked bright, filled with hope, filled with possibility. A new beginning wasn't just a moment. It was a continuous journey of growth, love, and endless potential. And Emma Thompson was just getting started.